and they win the series 4-2. They move on to the second round. And let's see. Let's take a look at the series stats there. John Wall averages 29.5 points per game, 10.7 assists per game. Felt like it was more assists, but I guess not. He was matched in assists by Dennis Schroeder. 10.7 for him as well. Schroeder averaged 24.8, the leading scorer for the Hawks. Looks like they might have a little bit of a star on their hands. Gortat, the leading rebounder in the series, over Dwight Howard, 10.4 rebounds per game for him, only 7.7 for Dwight. Gortat with 2.3 blocks per game as well, playing very well there. Beal with 2.3 assists per game. Him and John Wall were both going at it. They both get into passing lanes quite a bit. And how about John Wall shooting 58% from downtown on the series? Definitely not John Wall-like, stepping his game up there. Tight series. The Wizards average 106.7 in the series. The Hawks average 105.5. The Hawks with a slight rebounding edge. Both teams with a good amount of assists, 21 for the Wiz, 22 per game for Atlanta. Steals, 9 steals per game for the Wiz. That's pretty good there. 7.5 blocks, pretty good there. Both teams shoot pretty poor from downtown, 31 and 30% respectively there. All right, let's look forward to... There it is. So we have the number 1 seed Boston Celtics hosting the number 4 seed Washington Wizards, two teams that basically hate each other. The teams had a few skirmishes, to say the least. Well, not really fights, but kind of some haphazard back and forth bullshit. The Wizards with their black socks, I think it's cool. I think we should wear black socks anyway. But basically, the matchup that people wanted, I guess, happens in round 2 here with these two guys meeting up. And we already have a game in the books. Game 1 played yesterday. I just kind of recapped it on the Daily Wager. I'm not going to totally do too much on it, right? I mean, a little tiny bit. Boston wins 123-111 at home. Isaiah has 33 and 9. Let's see. Anything else happen good for the C's? Yeah, 24 for Crowder. Horford had a great game. Shoots 77%, 21, 9 points, or 9 boards, 10 assists. 27 for Beal, 20 points, 16 assists for John Wall. Good victory there for Boston. I see this probably going 6. I'd say I see this probably going 6 games. I like Boston to win the series. Better defensively. More mature somehow, slightly more mature. I'm not sure why that is. Washington was actually up, 20-3 to start the game in Boston, and they ended up losing 22-5. Great performance for the Celts to be able to just kind of get hit in the mouth like that and come back again. A lot of tough. Oh my God. Yeah, Isaiah got his fucking tooth knocked out. His front tooth got knocked out in the game. Good God. This will be a great series, though, to watch as well. Other than the Houston-San Antonio series, this one will probably be the best. Really excited. Great game 1. Game 2 is going to be, tomorrow, Tuesday, May 2nd, 6 p.m. on TNT. All right, and we move on to the number 3 seed in the East, Toronto Raptors, taking on the number 6 seed, Milwaukee Bucks. This was a tough one for them. Milwaukee presented a lot of problems. They're really big. Toronto actually had to play small ball, which isn't something that they had really planned. Ibaka playing the center position and having Norman Powell, who's normally their 6th man, come out and play the small forward position. Pretty interesting choices there. He played great. But this is all because game 1 in Toronto, the Bucks outscore the Raptors by 19 in the second half, win by 14, 97-83. Great defensive performance in that game. As I just said earlier, Toronto, because of that, is 1-11 in game 1s of playoff series in the franchise history. Game 2, they do pick up. Lowry, DeRozan combined for 45, good all-around performance. They win 106-100, but it's not without its set of problems as well. These problems come back Game 3, where the Bucks limit the Raptors to 33.8% shooting from the field, hold them to 77 points, and they win 104-77 in a rout. They go up 2-1 there. The Raptors tough though. Game 4, DeRozan puts up 33 points, 9 boards. They go on the road. They hold Milwaukee this time. This is after they have started to play small ball. They hold Milwaukee to 76 points. Kind of a much faster team, Milwaukee, with not a lot of scoring presence. Giannis can score, but he's not the most prolific scorer. Chris Middleton played well. Other than that, they didn't have a lot of scoring in the series. Great performance there, though. Series tied 2-2. We go back to Toronto. Again, with the small ball, they have a commanding Game 5. They win 118-93 at home. Play fantastic. Set it up for a Game 6 in Milwaukee, where Milwaukee was a favorite. Slight favorite, but it came back pretty even. The Raptors are killing them for the majority of the game. Up by 25 at one point. Milwaukee comes back to take the lead by 2, and then the final 4 minutes go slightly better for the Raptors. They win 92-89 in Game 6 to win the series and close out the series in Milwaukee. A lot of grit there. 32 points in the final game for DeRozan, just 13 for Kyle Lowry. Again, he needs to really be showing up in these big games, so I'm worried about him as far as that's concerned. So Toronto beats Milwaukee 4-2 after being down 2-1. Great final 3 games of the series. 23.5 points DeRozan averages. Giannis 24.8, the leading scorer in the series. 24.8, 5.4 rebounds per game for him. The leader in the series as far as that's concerned as well. 2.3 steals per game for him, leader in the series as far as that's concerned as well. Also the leader in field goal percentage. A lot of weird things there for him. Let's see, Ibaka gets you 5.2 rebounds. Kyle Lowry will get you 8.4 assists and 1.8 steals. How about Chris Middleton? 9.5 assists from a power forward position. Or is he the shooting guard? He's a shooting guard. But great performance for him. He also chipped in with some scoring. Ibaka, 2.3 blocks per game as well to go with those rebounds he's getting you. The Raptors, this is a low scoring matchup, and this is just a horrible matchup. The Raptors score 93.8 per game. That's 13 less than they do in the regular season. The Bucks score 93.2 per game. That is 10 less than they do in the regular season. Slight rebounding advantage to Toronto, 41-38. Slight assist advantage to Milwaukee, surprisingly. That's where you need some Kyle Lowry moments. 21 assists for them. They get 8 steals a game and 5 blocks a game. Pretty good defensively there for them. 7.5, though, and 4.7 on the other side. So Toronto is a pretty good defensive team, as we noted to earlier. 42% from downtown Milwaukee shoots. That kept them in a lot of games, or won them a couple games. 35%, sort of so-so there for Toronto. All right, and Toronto is moving on, and this takes us to the final series of the first round. The number 2 seed in the East, Cleveland Cavaliers, and the number 7 seed, Indiana Pacers. Game 1, a close one. Cleveland wins 109-108, 32, 6 boards, 13 assists for King James, including an excellent defensive play at the very end to get Paul George to pass to Lance Stevenson, so he bricks the game-winning shot. Cleveland goes up 1-0. That will be the closest game in the series. Game 2, at home again, Cleveland wins 117-111. The big 3, Irving, James, Love, they combined for 89 points in that one alone. Big time, big 3 right there. Game 3, actually this one was actually a closer game. Cleveland wins 119-114 in Indiana. They were down. They set a NBA playoff record with a 25-point rally to win the game. Kind of a disheartening blow there for the Pacers. And then Game 4. They were all actually pretty close games. Cleveland wins 106-102. LeBron James, 33 points and 10 rebounds to close out the series in Indiana. Paul George had a good series, but just not good enough. Paul George averaged 28 points a game, 9 assists per game. I mean, what? Did basically all he could possibly do. Shot 82% from the line. But LeBron James, 32.8 points per game. He led the series in assists at 11 per game, in steals at 3 per game, in blocks at 2 per game. Fucking awesome performance there. Tristan Thompson, 9 rebounds. He is the leader in rebounds for the series. I don't really know what LeBron got, but it would be up there. I think it was 9 as well. I think he had 9 on the dot as well. So you could kind of put LeBron in the top category in all of those positions there. Great performance. The Cavs average 112 per game during the season. That's 2 more than they did in the regular season. The Pacers average 108 per game in the regular season, or in the series, 3 more than they did in the regular season. They win the rebounding battle, 42 a game to just 39.8 for Cleveland. Pretty close, not too big of a problem there. 22.5 assists per game for the Pacers as well. Pretty good passing the ball. It's where all those Paul George numbers came from as far as the assists go. Only 19.8 for Cleveland, and almost all of those, it seems like, coming from, or at least over half, obviously, coming from LeBron James, which is unfortunate. I'd like to see more passing out of Kyrie. 8 steals, 7 steals, both teams pretty active there. 6.2 blocks per game for the Cavs. Stingy motherfuckers down low. They shoot 40% from downtown, pretty good. 39% for the Pacers, also pretty good. All right, this leads us to the final matchup in the semifinals. Eastern Conference, number 2 seed and the number 3 seed both have the same record. Cleveland Cavaliers and the Toronto Raptors. Tonight, game 1. Talked about it already on the Daily Wager. I don't know if anybody listens. We probably already said it earlier today or earlier on this show. Doing some parlay picks. LeBron James, the only player ever to average 32 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 blocks, and 2 steals per game in a playoff series. Fantastic there. I expect the Cavs, I think, have Toronto's number. I feel like Toronto, this is just a bad matchup for them. They could and probably would be favored against either Boston or Washington, but this is just one of those times. I think that the Cavs either win this series in 6 or 5. I'd be surprised if it went 7, especially the way that Kyle Lowry played in the first round. I don't know. Going to need quite a bit more from him if they're going to win. And like from everybody, you're going to have big performances or seriously horrid performances and letdowns from the Cavaliers. The thing about that is LeBron James knows that he has, 4, 8, 12 games left that he needs to win at least. That could obviously stretch to 20-something, but he knows that there are only a few games left. He's going to give it 100% in all of these games, and that's why he's so dominant statistically in the first round, just because he really just has that on switch that he's going to turn on there in the postseason. That's kind of where we're at right now. It's where we were last year, where they won the championship after having a little bit of struggles, not nearly as many struggles as they did this year during the regular season, but definitely turned it on in the postseason. I expect that again this year to some extent. And I expect them probably to win this in 6 games. And it'll have to be some pretty good games played by Toronto in order for it to go 6, I actually think. All right. So we're going to recap this. We got Golden State and Utah. They start, tomorrow? Taking Golden State in, if Gobert play, we'll say Golden State in 5. Could be 4, though. That might be generous. Houston and San Antonio. That starts tonight. I'm going to go ahead and say, like I said before, Houston in 7. And if not, San Antonio in 7. No matter what, this will be a 7-game series. Boston and Washington. Boston in 6. They're up 1-0 already. It's kind of a cheater pick there. And then the final one, Toronto at Cleveland.